It's time for the Mortgage Mailbag.
All right, Bill, I want to talk to you a little bit about home buying right now, the market that we're in. We've mentioned rates are up over 7% as we go into September. And I saw something the other day about new home construction because there's such a lack of supply that's out there that can't keep up with the needs right now in the country. New home construction is up. I think it was like 16% or something like that. And I think projections will only kind of continue in this current environment. So the question I wanted to run by you today, is there anything different in the mortgage lending process for new home construction versus an existing home?
Yeah, so if you're going to buy a new construction home where the builder has financed the construction portion, because there are construction loans, that's a whole different subject than we're approaching here. But if it's a new construction property, the biggest element to that is understanding the delivery date, right? So some of them are quick delivery. In that situation, if there's a house that's, ready to go, close in 30 to 60 days, there's not much different on the lending side. What becomes different when you're over 60 days, and sometimes they can be out 8, 9, 10 months, it's your interest rate lock. Are you going to pay today to lock in the rate all the way out 1 year? Or are you going to ride the market and see where the market takes you? So definitely some considerations with where do we think rates are going? Should we lock in now or should we play the market? That's the biggest consideration with new construction.
Say a harder process for the person trying to secure the loan in terms of I've never been through the new home construction process, so I'm not totally sure, but you have to get all the estimates, get all the projections and costs. Is it just more legwork in terms of getting all that stuff lined up versus, hey, I know this house is $500,000 I want to buy. That's the mortgage I'm looking for. That's the amount I'm looking for. We can go ahead and go that route and push forward, or is it a little bit more difficult?
It definitely is more involved.
Okay.
Picking out all your options and your colors, and you're definitely more involved because there's so many more choices. There's a little bit of an extra cost on the appraisal because the appraiser could go out to a piece of raw land and take the plans and specs and just appraise it to those plans and specs. And then once the house is complete, have to re-inspect. So that's an extra $200 to go out for the appraiser to go out to the house twice versus once. So there's a little bit more to it. What a lot of people like about it right now is that there's not as much of a bidding war on that side because you don't have multiple people going after the same house in new construction. It's not a bidding war environment. Somebody comes in, they put a deposit down on a lot. If somebody already has a deposit on a lot, it's just not available, right? Whereas the way that existing construction works is it creates an environment to bid the value of the property value up. That doesn't happen in new construction.
And so anybody that wants to come in and is thinking about building a new home and going that process, they're going that route, do they need to bring anything different to you? Anything they should be thinking about ahead of time before they sit down with Cross Country Mortgage for the first time?
No, I would say that the pre-approval process is almost the same. I will tell you one little thing that's important that we've learned over the years is that you don't want to send out the appraiser until the buyer has picked out all of their options and we have a final purchase price. Because let's say the final purchase price is $500,000, but we have an initial base purchase price before the options of $400,000. If I send the appraiser out there with a contract that says $400,000, he's going to come back with an appraisal close to $400,000. And usually these things are, you've got really good real estate agents. They know the values, in the surrounding area. So if that buyer then adds a bunch of options, of course, the value of the property goes up. We want to make sure that we've captured all that in the contract that the appraiser sees and that they get the right contract in hand. Because if we don't, the purchase price is not going to match the appraised value, and it is going to cause completely unnecessary issues.
All right, so not a big difference then. So for somebody that's going that route, if you have questions and want to follow up with Bill, anything on your mind specifically, or want to start talking about that new home that you're looking to build, you can always do so at 484-352-4151, or just log on, as always, smartmortgageshow.com. Some tools, resources there for you. All of our podcasts are there, video content as well. You can find it there. So it's kind of the home for everything that Bill and his team produce. Great source if you're looking just to learn more about the process, both for what's expected of you, but also what Bill and his team at Cross Country can provide. All right, Bill, we'll close it out on that note. As always, a pleasure to catch up with you. Hopefully next month we'll be talking. Rates will be coming back down a little bit more, but just continue to survive. Whoever's watching and you're in that market for a new home and just wonder if it's going to happen. Patience, it probably will at some point, but we'll get through it until then. So, Bill, always appreciate your time and your help over Cross Country Mortgage.
Thank you so much, Ben, and we'll see you next month.